They say some good things start at home, and this one proves to be true when it comes to managing the family's budget to ensure financial stability amid rising costs of everyday living. Now, to tell us more about family finances, we have in the studio financial planner Fitz Villafuerte. Good morning to you, Fitz.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for coming and joining us. Now, let's talk about this family financial, budgeting, and that's not something that most families talk about at the table. What do you think is the state of family financing here in the country?
Well, when it comes to family finances, parents in particular know the importance of it. But the thing is, I think it's in the Filipino culture not to talk about money in front of the kids.
Right.
But that's something that more Filipinos should learn how to handle, especially teaching their kids at an early age how to properly spend and save money.
Especially their allowances.
Yeah, especially their allowances.
Yeah. What about families who the breadwinners will say, well, my salary is very small, plus I have tax and I have other living expenses. Like, I don't think I can save anything out of a small salary.
When it comes to budget, the very first thing that you need to do is to write down all your expenses.
Okay.
Track down
the
your expenses.
necessities, you mean, or just everything you spend?
Everything that you spend. Because that's where you can see where the unnecessary expenses are. So I've met a lot of people who say that their income is just enough for their needs. But when I look at their cash flow, I see a lot of unnecessary expenses there.
Okay.
Now, assuming that indeed their income is really just enough, then the next logical step there is to find extra income. Yeah, you try to look for part-time things to do during the weekend. If you're married and your spouse is just at home, there are a lot of work-at-home jobs right now.
Online jobs even.
Online jobs, yes, that's right.
Why do you think it's such a problem, or hindi naman problem, but it's more of a hesitation for us? You said something about a mindset. How key is this, do you think?
The thing with most Filipinos, when it comes to saving, we think of it as something negative. When we get our income or salary, parang I have to
hold on to this and then spend it.
So it becomes a negative mindset,
right?
A negative experience. What I usually advise is you pay yourself first. So when you get your income, you set aside a portion of your salary immediately.
Okay.
And then what's left, you can freely spend it all without guilt. So the negative experience of holding on to your money, feeling self-pity that you cannot spend.
This is all I have.
It minimizes because as long as you see money in your wallet, you can freely spend it all. Why? Because you've already spent at the start.
That's right. Especially the debts, like you have to square those away, right?
That's right. Also, once you have your salary, actually I recommend saving first.
So set that aside.
Set aside. Then a portion of it to pay your debts.
Your debts,
And then the rest of it you budget for your living expenses.
Right.
And the good thing there is the negative experience, as I've said, of saving money minimizes because if ever you want something, you see there's a sale, and then you look at your wallet and there's money, you can afford it, then go ahead without guilt because as I've said, you've
already put money
you've
aside.
already saved money.
Yeah. Speaking of savings, is it necessarily money that has to be in the bank, or how do you define savings, and what other forms does it come?
Well, when it comes to the family or the household, I always recommend, since you're already tracking your expenses, to keep at least 5 days worth of your expenses at home.
5 days worth, okay, all right.
Why? Because,
parang may buffer ka.
Yeah,
all right.
Banks go offline. There are long weekends. Sometimes you cannot find an ATM to withdraw money. So that's 5 days worth of your household expenses at home as cash. The rest of it, we recommend 6 months worth of your operational expenses as emergency fund.
6 months worth of operational, as emergency fund.
As emergency fund. So for example, in a month's time, your household spends around 50,000 pesos a month. So that's like around 300,000. That should be kept as an emergency fund.
Right.
And you can put half of it in a savings account so that can be easily withdrawn, and put half of it in low-risk investments or even a time deposit.
Okay.
So that's the ideal scenario for savings.
So you don't want your money to just be sitting down, sitting somewhere in a bank. You want it to grow. And,
Yeah.
right?
The money that you want to be sitting in the bank is your emergency fund.
Emergency fund.
Beyond
okay.
that, you have to invest it so that it will grow faster.
Oh, do you think that we're an investment kind of thinkers? Do you think na especially the middle class income earners, diba? Do you think na ganun tayo na I should invest my money?
Well, actually yes.
We are okay.
The problem is most Filipinos don't know where to invest or how to invest. But the good thing for the past couple of years, ever since our stock market went on a bull run, the most Filipinos are now looking for good investments. Especially in the stock market, in mutual funds, and unit investment trust funds. And talking to a lot of Filipinos that I've met, they're surprised that these are very accessible investment products.
They seem like intimidating things at the start when you hear it, pero pwede pala, accessible nga siya.
Madali lang siyang mapag-aralan. If you really are interested in learning,
kaya.
Yeah, kaya.
Right.
And the principles are very easy to comprehend.
Now, with each family, syempre iba-iba yung priorities sa spending,
Yes.
right? And budgeting. Now, there you have families where they have like 2 to 3 children, and then you have just couples, and then you have single-parent households. Do you think that there is a difference in the hierarchy of priorities when it comes to spending?
I don't think so. For me, as a household or as a family, of course, the education of the children is the first priority because you need to equip your child to be financially independent later on. And the second priority that they should have is their own retirement.
Yeah,
So,
that's a good point.
And that I believe that applies to all families, regardless of the configuration of the family. Buying a house, buying a car, those are secondary priorities.
Right.
So I believe it applies to all types of families.
And I'm sure we have a lot of our viewers who fall into 1 or 2 of those categories.
Yes.
And they want to learn. How do you guys have a workshop where people can actually learn more about, proper family financial planning and budgeting, right? It's called Ready to be Rich.
Yeah, Ready to be Rich Family Finances.
I'm ready to be rich.
Ready to be Rich because that's the name of my personal finance blog. So I'm conducting a family finances workshop on September 20.
Okay.
It's a whole day workshop. I call
It's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday. I call it a workshop because it's not a seminar where you just sit.
And
it's
listen.
a workshop. You have worksheets.
Oh, interactive.
Yeah,
okay.
interactive. We are going to do a lot of computation. That's why bringing a calculator
Ow.
is required. So you'll learn how much do you need to save and invest for your child's education?
Very practical.
How much do you need to save and invest for your retirement, etc. So it's a very comprehensive workshop.
Great. So we have the contact details on the screen for those of you who want to register, and also they can follow you on Twitter.
Yes, my handle is @BrodFitz, BRODFITZ.
I get the joke there.
Yes, yeah.
Kamukha mo nga si Brad Pitt.
Thank you.
Okay, well, that's a very interesting workshop, and I'm sure people are wanting to learn more about this, and it's great what you and the people in your industry do to help people have more knowledge about family planning, family financial planning, and that's
Yes.
great. Thank you so much, Fitz,
Thank
for
you
joining
also.
us and sharing this information with us. That was Fitz Villafuerte, a registered financial planner. Now, Daybreak brings you more news after this breather, like the surrender of 1 policeman tagged in an alleged kidnapping in EDSA, and Schumacher now home to recover after a skiing accident that left him hospital-bound for months. Stay tuned.